Hi, good morning and have a good day, Doctor. My name is Ivia Federican. So the title of our project is Flood Mitigation. We are all from Group 3. So before I start my presentation, let me introduce my group members. Me, Ivia Federican, and the second, Elizabeth Santana Suring. Number 3, Lini Saliao. Number 4, Lim Zihong. Number 5, Tan Chi Huai. So this is the introduction of our project. It is categorized as a situation where a significant volume of water suspended to the normal boundaries of a river, either naturally or artificially defined. Flood in Malaysia refer to the occurrence of excessive water levels that immediate an area, often causing an damage and destruction of communities and infrastructure. Malaysia experienced monsoon season. Figure 1 above shows the rainfall pattern in Malaysia and how it is influenced by the two monsoons, which is the southwest and northwest monsoons. There are three objectives here. Number 1, to determine the factor that contributes to the flood occurrence. Number 2, to justify the way and solutions in minimizing the flood. And the last one is to discuss the elements of flood mitigation program. In Malaysia, the floods in Malaysia can be understood by examining various factors, including natural elements, geographical characteristics, and human activities such as climate and monsoon season. Graphical features. Number 3, deforestation and land use. Number 4, urban development and drainage system. And the last one is climate change.
Hi, my name is Lini Saliao, matrix number DF19112. On the slide shows a few of laws and legislations that involved during flood mitigation project, which is National Land Code 1965, Water Act 1920, Local Government Act 1976, Land Conservation Act, Environmental Quality Act 1974, and Uniform Building Bylaws. Moving on is the authority that involved during or before flood occurrence, which is Malaysian Meteorological Department, National Flood and Forecasting and Warning Center, Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, Malaysian Remote Sensing Energy, Special Malaysia Disaster Assistance and Rescue Team, and many more. And this is the Villa table that we have prepared for our group.
The hydrology analysis of 50 years rainfall data can be written in terms of frequency factor as shown in figure 1. From the calculation, the intermediate variable W is 1.9.78. Meanwhile, the frequency factor KT is 1.067. Hence, from the formula, we substitute the data for W and KT. So we get the rainfall data as 50 is equal to 0.246 meter. Meanwhile, the peak runoff is 259.71 meter cubic per second.
My name is Tan Chi Huai. My matrix number is AF190222. Today, let me give the presentation regarding the Chapter 4 discussion. There are 12 strategies to solve the flooding. Firstly, improve urban planning is to implement better urban planning to regulate construction and development in flood-prone areas. The second one is flood control infrastructure is to invest in building and maintaining effective flood control infrastructure. The third one is river management is to implement proper river management strategy. Then, sustainable land use is to encourage and enforce sustainable land use practice to reduce deforestation and soil erosion. Then, flood area warning system is to develop and enhance flood forecasting and area warning system to alert residents and authorities of potential flood events. Community awareness and education is to educate the public about flood risk and preparedness. Rainwater harvesting is to promote water harvesting and retention system to capture excess water during heavy rains. Climate change adaptation is to develop strategies that take into account the potential impact of climate change on rainfall patterns and flooding, and integrate adaptation measures into flood management plans. Wetland restoration is to preserve and restore wetlands as they can act as natural buffers against flood by absorbing and storing excess water. International cooperation is to collaborate with neighboring countries on transboundary river management. Investment in research is to support research initiatives to understand the causes and effects of flooding in Malaysia better, leading to more informed and effective flood management strategy. And the last one is disaster preparedness and response. Is to strengthen disaster preparedness and response capability at the national, state, and local levels to handle flood emergency efficiently. Next, we go to the slide elements of flood mitigation programs. FMA programs grants help with planning and performing projects to reduce future flood losses. This may include lifting, buying, or moving national flood insurance programs insured structure. FMA also provides funds yearly to reduce or remove risk of flood damage to an FIP insured structure. The receivers is the state, territorial, and tribal governments, and certain non-profit may apply. And the individual homeowners and business may not apply, but a community may apply on their behalf. The eligible activities is FMA allow buying property, destroying, moving or lifting structure. It also allows dry flood proofing of non-residential structure, small local flood reduction project, and plans to prevent flood damage. And the cost sharing is federal up to 75% and non-federal is 25%. Repeat and severe repeat loss properties may be eligible for federal cost share up to 100%. And the application is the state have primary responsibility for selecting and directing mitigation activities. Funds for the FMA programs are limited. The state point of contact for the FMA programs is the State Hazard Mitigation Officer (SHMO).
Now I would like to present my part, which is conclusion of this report. Through our analysis, we have gained valuable insights into the potential flood occurrence and identify key areas where mitigation and reduction strategy can be implemented. Next, the analysis of the historical rainfall data provided us with a comprehensive understanding of the hydrological patterns in the study area. Also, we determine the likelihood of floods of a certain magnitude occurring within a given time frame, which is crucial for assessing the risk and vulnerability associated with floods in the area. Lastly, the mitigation strategies can vary depending on the specific characteristic of the study area, but some common approaches include improved infrastructure, land use planning, and also flood warning system. That's all from me.